There you go.
Okay. So it says we're on air live.
Okay, I see it.
So I hope it works.
Awesome. Well, it says it's live, so I think we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. How should we get started here? What should we talk about first?
Who wants to fill out the form or the sheet for this week?
Oh, yeah. Does not matter either way. I can. I'll just get another one. Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. I am good to go on our log.
Are you good for that?
Okay, cool.
Did we want to start maybe just by making kind of a list of the things that we want to talk about? Like maybe
Yeah.
we want to review deadlines, make a decision about informal or formal debate, see what's left to do for the outline because that's due this week, and then anything else that maybe you guys had on your mind about what you might like to, or even what we
Add
want
to our side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So the
But I
outline
think at first
due
debate.
next week,
Oh,
right?
sorry. What's that?
The outline is due next Monday. Is that right? The 27th. Is that the Monday?
I thought it was due this week.
Is anyone else getting an echo?
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
Maybe we should raise our hand when we want to start talking. So not everybody's talking at the same time.
All right, where do you want to start? Do you want to decide if we want a formal or informal and then go from there?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
As far as debates go, I don't really have a preference whether informal or formal, but if something would be more structured, I think the more structured of the two is what I would choose.
I think the more structured one is the formal one, and then the informal one is kind of like everyone kind of just chips in. You can have more than one role. I have it right here. But it almost seems like the informal one looks a little easier to manage.
Okay.
The informal seems more like a conversation posing both sides.
Yeah.
I've only done one debate in my entire college career, undergraduate and graduate, so I don't have a preference. Whatever you guys think would be better for us, I'm fine with it.
I'm more familiar with informal than I am formal.
Okay.
I don't really have a lot of experience either with debates.
Does
So it
anybody else?
doesn't matter to me.
Let's just do, if we think that informal will be a better way to go, then let's just
Do it.
Is that okay with everybody?
Works with me.
Yep.
Okay, is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Do we have to choose the roles in the debate right now, or is that something we can do later?
I think we could just work on the outline now and then kind of figure out the roles after.
Here. The paper comes up first, right? The paper is due first.
The outline. Do you guys want to start? So, okay, so we've decided on informal for the debate, and now we can just start talking about the outline and our points that maybe we need to add, and then we can talk about the roles of whoever, the debate part.
So I have,
Sorry, I'm getting
yeah, me too. There's a bit of an echo. I have the
a
outline
lag.
due this week. Is that right? By Sunday? Is that what other people found?
I have it for next Sunday. It's in module 5, and then it says submit online ethical debate research outline due date 9/27, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, that's what I have. It's in a syllabus, I think. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so it's due on the 27th by 5 p.m.
And then
Okay.
the rough draft is due module 7. 9/27, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so the outline is due module 5 and the rough draft module 7.
Yeah.
The final paper is due module 9, and then our debate is module 11.
Okay. So we should probably just get because the outline is the next step, correct? That needs to be done.
Yes.
So let's just finish filling that one out, and then we can go from there.
Perfect.
So the outline looks great, by the way, Lisa.
Oh, good. Good, good.
The beginning one. Does somebody have it pulled up right now?
I'm trying to pull it up.
I haven't pulled up. Do you want to talk about like the organization of the paper or just go straight to the outline? So it starts with the introduction and then counter-argument, counterclaims about the FA.
Should we make it more specific? Like the argument wise, or does it have to be, can it be pretty vague? Does that make sense?
Well, in the introduction, we'll introduce the topic and give background information and everything on it there, and then it'll go into the counter-argument.
Okay.
Is that right, Lisa? I think I'm reading that right?
I think if you go down to the second page, sorry, I'm having a hard time flipping between the paper and the Hangout, but I think on the second page, I just plugged in some ideas of things that I thought could go in that first paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, kind of defining what the terms are, talking about maybe the history of it, you know, where the discrepancy comes between the two. I didn't know if the IDEA stuff should go there or if maybe it's in the counter argument. I don't know. And then after that, I just thought for each of the different points, and most of those came from one of Hanley's articles, where he just kind of summarized what the debate is in the field. If we could have found articles to support some of those points, then it would be easier to kind of flesh out a paragraph. But at the same time, some of those points could be combined, and then if we can't find an article to support one of those points, then we could drop it. Because, I mean, I think for the FA one, there was about 8 different points that would support it, and that's a pretty big paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might want to combine some of those, or if we don't find research, we can just drop it. But,
Because in the informal debate, like every point that side makes, the other point can usually like throw in their rebuttal or whatever. And then, I mean, how many back and forth do you think we'll have for each point? You know what I mean? I mean, maybe just 1 or 2 is what I would think.
and I think once the paper is written, we'll probably, between all of us, have been able to at least read and discuss plenty just in the development of the paper. Then I think once we get to the debate, it'll be really easy to kind of tease out, you know, you go first with these points, and then we'll counter with these points, and then into the next one, we can just plug it in maybe. So.
Cool. And it can be more planned out that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. It is kind of hard to go back and forth between like the video and the all your other stuff on your computer. Okay. So as far as adding anything else to the outline, do you think it's okay, or do you think we should?
I was thinking that maybe we should maybe flesh out what a thesis statement is going to be. So even though we're talking about both sides are going to be presented, I think for the paper we're supposed to take a position. So it could be along the lines of, there's a range of procedures that behaviorists use to determine function. How we decide which one to use is, I don't know. Maybe we take the position that an FA is the gold standard, and then I have some qualifiers. I'm not sure. It seems to me like the position paper is you take a position and you defend it, but you also acknowledge the arguments against position.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the gist I got, and so that it was a little bit different than the debate. But
so are we we're supporting the FA and the outline, and then is that what kind of I'm seeing in the outline? Is that correct?
Well, it depends. We could do a position paper that supported that an FBA is easier, requires fewer resources and all of those reasons, and that an FA is just something that is used when the function is unclear or for certain circumstances. I mean, that could be a thesis statement as well, like a position that we take. I think for the outline,
I guess it just depends on what. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think our thesis will have to be some kind of a statement about where we stand, which is a little bit different than I think the debate where we'll just go back and forth.
Where do we stand?
That's the question for the night, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
It looks like we have a lot more research on the FA than we do the FBA.
Does anyone have more personal experience with one or the other?
I have more experience with the FBA. I've only seen an FA conducted. I've never conducted one myself. But I'm fine with either one of them. It doesn't matter to me.
I mean, I think it's pretty. Go ahead.
I've also seen the FBA done a lot of times. I've actually done a couple of them. The FA I'm supposed to be doing actually really soon, but I have never seen it done before.
And I think in some of the research, at least what Hanley has been saying is that most people do the FBA, and not a lot of people feel confident doing the FA. When they compare the results between an FA and an FBA, usually the FA is more accurate, which is kind of what you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, then the other argument is an FA that's conducted by someone who doesn't have any experience. How accurate is that going to be as well? But I think probably in terms of an argument and literature to support it, I think an FA would come out on top. But I think in a debate, we would be able to really flesh out all of the reasons why in the field, even though behavior analysts know that FA is the standard, they still don't do them very often. It's the most rare procedure, not most rare, but it's pretty rare in the field.
I've seen a few done, and I know that like everything that I've read has been mostly like, well, if the problem behavior is so severe and it needs to be handled immediately, the FA is obviously the wiser choice because it doesn't, the time constraints of the FBA are so like harsh that the FA only makes sense. And I've seen it done in person twice, and then like via video of one of my my supervisor. And so I mean, they are fast, and I think that when I also read a paper saying that people can easily be trained doing it, it's just the matter of, like you said, the confidence when you actually complete it. So I would probably stand by an FA for our research outline, just like you said, because that's the most accurate that we've that has come about. So I'm cool with FA if everybody else is for the paper. And of course, you can always bring it, like you said, you can always use the FBA for other parts of the paper. I mean, not that you have to stand beside it, but you can say the when you can use it or whatever. Adding it in if you can.
I'm cool with that.
I've only done practice FBAs, so it's like I don't have as much. You know what I mean? I've done like the one, but nothing like super serious.
So do you guys want to?
I think maybe if we're thinking about a thesis statement, I don't know, we've still got some time if we all maybe kind of put forward what we thought might be a good way to kind of summarize both. The article one of the ones that I uploaded, it's called Functional Assessment of Problem Behavior, Dispelling Myths, Overcoming Implementation Obstacles, and Developing New Lore. It's kind of a really nice overview. Most of the points that are in the outline are in this article, and it kind of includes both sides. So that might be one article that would be a good read for everybody, because I don't think we can all read all of the articles.
What was it called again? Can you tell me again?
It's one of the ones that I uploaded, and it might be listed, I think on the file I put Hanley, and then it probably says myths, obstacles, something like that.
Oh, I did look at that one.
Yeah.
So let's make it a point to all read that and maybe come up with a little bit of our own like statement for. This is for the introductory for our debate or for our paper or both.
I think for the paper, and it's something that I think should be in our outline.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys want to do that by and then by like the next few days?
Yeah, we could do that through Google. I don't know what everybody's schedule is like. I probably wouldn't get to my reading and maybe think of how I would maybe frame up a thesis statement until maybe early next week. But
okay.
Okay, so did you guys say a thesis statement for an FA and FBA, or just are we doing the FA?
I think a thesis statement that will say an FA in some way, whatever way you decide to say it, that an FA is the treatment of procedure of choice. But in that thesis statement, we can still acknowledge something about FBAs, but maybe between all of us we'll come up with kind of a different slant on what a good statement might be and how to.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. We can all kind of bring them all together, any kind of ideas that we might have for it.
Yeah. And whatever that thesis statement is, if we all kind of have a different way of saying it, then we'll be able to use it in the conclusion, because that's pretty much just restating your thesis.
Okay. Do you guys want to do that together, or would you rather just like us kind of come up with it and then we can do it like via email or by like the middle of next week?
I'm personally good with email.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would do email. Yeah.
What day do you want to have it, just so we're on the same page?
Monday or
When's that one
Tuesday,
due
or
again?
Monday would probably be good. I have a crazy weekend with work. I can't really get to it until Sunday.
Okay. I mean, we could even push it to Tuesday if it would help anybody with scheduling.
Tuesday's good with me.
Okay. Great. So,
Could we have the name of the article again?
Sure. It's by Hanley, and I just had it here. It says it's a lot. Oh, here it is. It says functional assessment of problem behavior, dispelling myths, overcoming implementation obstacles, and developing new lore. So it's one of the ones that I uploaded into the file thing on Blackboard. So it probably just says Hanley, myths, obstacles, something like that.
Okay.
There's another one, but it's really huge, and it's a Hanley article that's a review of functional analysis, and he acknowledges why FBAs are important, but he also has a bit of history in there and that kind of stuff. That's a 2003, but it's a big one to read. I think the other one's better.
Okay. So just so I have everything that we've talked about so far. So we talked about doing an informal debate. We talked about due dates for everything. We also discussed which stance our research paper is going to be, which is more towards FA. We all need to we should try to read the Hanley article, the myths and obstacle one, and then try to get our thesis, some kind of thesis statement by Tuesday via email. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Is there anything else in the outline that we need to work on that we need to talk about?
Well, I didn't know if some of the articles that everybody uploaded, if maybe whoever uploaded them would then take maybe the author and the title and then plug it in and see where they think it would fit in the outline. So we would, if I haven't looked at anybody else's articles. I just pulled up one, and I thought it was a neat one that would fit into the FA, but or the FBA side. I don't know. Am I making sense? I'm sorry, it's late.
Yeah, I think so. I need to look at the outline again to see where everything will fit. So are we talking like points that our research papers have made and try to like put them into the outline? Just like little tiny, just little, here's what the idea is basically, and we don't need to go into depth or anything like that.
Yeah, so like some of the ones that I found that would support that an FA is something that a general practitioner can do. So I just put a little line in the outline that said teachers can implement an FA, and then who did this study, and then at least it's a reference point. Because later we could each take a paragraph or a couple of different points and then go from there. Okay.
Oh, okay. So like for each side, so there's a side for FBA and there's a side for FA, right?
Yeah.
Or I mean, there's a part for that on the outline.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see where you did that. So basically, do any of our studies that we researched go along with the arguments that have been made already?
Yeah. Or there might be a new point that one of the articles that somebody uploaded came across. We don't have to go with any of the ones that I put up there, but it's a start. If we don't have an article that backs up one of the points, we'll drop it.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying now. I was a little confused.
Okay.
But now I got it.
So should we add some points there for Tuesday as well?
Is that within everybody's time frame?
Yeah, that's fine.
It might help with coming up with the thesis statement.
I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, you have some really good points in here.
Mm-hmm.
I think just adding a few would be sufficient for this outline.
Sure.
I'd agree. So are we actually meeting on Google Hangout, or are we just doing email on Tuesday?
Let's do email. The Google, because you can add, because that the outline is in Google Documents, so you can just add to it where you can then you can put your name beside where you added it, and then we can take that out later.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Is that okay?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll email if I have any questions.
Okay. Is that okay with everybody else?
Yeah, that works. But we're not meeting on Thursday, or we are?
I guess if we only have to have 4 videos, we probably don't have to meet Thursday if you guys don't want to, or do we have to do 3 or 4? I don't remember what the thing said.
I think it's 3 recorded videos.
Okay. Do you guys prefer to try to get to do another one next week?
We could just do a quick check-in, make sure everyone's on the same page, even if it's only a couple of minutes or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm adding stuff to our thing here, to our log. Adding points to, so we're going to add points, add our own points to ballot. Cool. And if it looks like somebody's doing something wrong, like if I add something to the outline and it doesn't look right, you guys can totally just be like, Jessica, no, that's wrong. Don't add that. Because I still am kind of like, what are we doing here kind of thing. So feel free to be completely honest with me.
I think we all are.
Yeah, ditto. I feel like with the debate so early, we're going to be done most of the work from this course, like by really early November. That's all the biggest
That's so
stuff.
exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of go hard for the next month and a half, but then the bulk of our program is assignments are done. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, because it doesn't get like dragged out to the very end. It's kind of nice. I definitely agree. Okay. I think if anybody else has anything that we would like to discuss, I think we're good.
Mm-hmm. I had one more idea just kind of for going forward, if maybe on the Google Docs, if we just throw up a blank planning log. And it's kind of, we can add things to it like an agenda for our next conversation. If there's nothing on it, then we'll just do whatever's on the list. But sometimes as I'm going through stuff, I have an idea, and then I don't know where to put it, and then here we are meeting, and I forget what I was going to ask everybody.
Sure.
I can do that. I don't mind putting up a log on the Google Docs.
Great. That sounds awesome.
I will email this. I guess I'll email it to her and just see if there's another way that she wants me to submit it. But it should be. She's pretty quick on email, so I'll let you guys know.
Great. Okay. Are we all squared away for a few days here?
Good.
I think so.
Awesome.
I'm going to stop the broadcast right now just so I'm just trying to follow directions exactly the way it says before everyone hangs up. So I'm going to stop it right now, okay?